I do. Do you? I love that theme song. I'm so glad this show is back. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Bree with the B Face, and today we have a review on Put a Ring on It. Oh my goodness, I had no idea that this show was coming back, but I'm very excited. So this is season 3, episode 1, called Dating Other People. Honey, they jumped right on in. No therapy, right? They just had an initial session and they said, we're gonna jump right into these dates, honey. And I was here for it. So the couples this season, it seems like they've all been together for 3 years. I think they do that where they try to make sure that the people that they get have been together around the same amount of time, except for last season, they had people who were together for 20 years and not together, like not married. How? Not 20 years, but 15 on and off. But yes, so they seem to try to get people who have been together around the same amount of time. So it seems like everyone has been together for about 3 years or more, 3.5 or, things like that. So we are first introduced to Shay and Alfonso. I'm trying to come up with ship names for people, even though I don't ship any of these couples together. I feel like Shalfonso is pretty close. Shalfonso has been together for 3.5 years. The first thing I notice is that this man wants to be Rick Ross so bad. Close your shirt, please. Oh my goodness gracious. Close it. It's just sitting here. You're not even out. You're just sitting on a couch. Just shirt open. Close it. He wants to be Rick Ross so bad. So Shay and Alfonso come to find out, Shay has not met this man's mother officially. What? In 3 years you haven't met his mom? Oh, that man don't care about you. Oof. Or there's some other things that we'll get into a little bit later. So Shay and Alfonso have been together for 3 years. We find out that they have been engaged before. They called it off. They weren't specific on those details, which I'm curious on which party was responsible for calling it off. But she made sure to say that he took the ring back. So I'm curious if it was his decision or if it was her decision. And he was like, well, you ain't finna keep that ring. And so he took it back. We need to get into that a little bit later. So Shay and Alfonso. Otis and Charlana. So I can't tell if I think he's cute or not, but they have also been together for 3 years. The biggest thing that I notice about their relationship is he keeps saying he wants submission from his wife, girlfriend, partner, whomever. And she was like, no, thank you. That conversation was interesting because even in the intro, he was like, I'm real traditional, so I want this. And even though she won't admit it, she's real traditional in that she wants the man to be the provider, the protector, the leader. But I'm curious because if she wants the man to be the leader, what would her issue be with submission? She has said she won't be submissive, but I think her issue is that he does not listen to her. So it's not about being submissive in general. It's just the fact that he does not take her into consideration. And I don't feel like submissive means I make a decision whether or not you agree, whether or not you have a say. I think you take all things into consideration and you make a decision that's best for the both of you, right? That's how a marriage works. But he seems like, no, I'm in charge. Me. But later on in this episode, he just seems real childish. I'm like, I would not want you to be in charge of a dog. You seem so childish. So that is, I was gonna say all of them start with the woman, but I feel like their ship name is Olana. I feel like that one makes sense. Olana have communication issues and issues with submission. Then we are introduced to Kenneth and Shorty. So we got another New Orleans baby. I can't do the accent, but it's really cute. That accent is very attractive. I feel like there is a guy on Ready to Love with that accent, Joel. Then there was Hollywood from season 1. And now it's this guy. I feel like you could put a whole paper bag over who you are and just put that New Orleans accent, and that's half the battle, sir. And he for real from New Orleans, like did not even hide it. It's just, you're me. It's so, I'm just saying, that accent is one of the most attractive accents. But I like Southern people anyway. But that New Orleans is something different. Oh, goodness gracious. So Kenneth and Shorty, I think they've been together for 3 years. I don't know if they said that. But it seems like Kenneth would marry her. I feel like it's Shorty who's saying, I don't think you're ready for marriage. So that's an interesting dynamic. It's almost similar to Hollywood and the lady. Oh, goodness gracious, I don't remember her name. And the only reason, I'm gonna be honest, that I remember Hollywood's name is because he showed up in this episode. So Hollywood and his girl, it's a similar thing where he's almost like, yeah, I will marry you. And she's like, no thanks, because I don't think you're ready, but I'll stay with you. That's almost like Kenneth and Shorty, where it seems like she doesn't think he's ready, but he's like, I can see myself spending the rest of my life with you. I'm trying to be a good guy and blah, 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 blah. In walks Dr. Nicole to solve all their problems. Listen, I enjoy Dr. Nicole. I feel like people in general need to have therapy. So I'm glad that in this situation, of course it's messy. Of course, in real life, you probably wouldn't do this, but I'm very glad that they at least have a therapist to talk to about their relationship issues and maybe even just get some self-reflection going too. Because Dr. Nicole, one thing about her, she will come with a nugget. And sometimes stuff that she be saying, I was like, ooh, what do I think? Like, is that happening here in my life? Just even me, just being single, just some of the things that she says are like really good for just self-reflection. So I really enjoy Dr. Nicole. So Dr. Nicole is sending the ladies on these dates. And of course the men are not, they're not happy about that. They gotta let these men in the house and call their girlfriend down and be like, here you go. Alfonso is the only one who seems a little cool with it. Like, he didn't really seem like he had too much of an issue. He just was a little jokey about it. So Brian comes to take Shay out on a date, and he just was being real petty and was like, Lil Ryan here for you. Why you gotta call this man little? Calm down. But in the confessional, Alfonso was like, I ain't worried about no dude named Brian. And he walked in the door, his swag wasn't on nothing. I said, I know Mr. Cathedral shirt, open blouse, is not talking about swag on anything. Please be quiet, sir, and button your top, please. So Shay comes down. Looking at Shay, this woman is gorgeous. The girl is gorgeous. First of all, body yaddy yaddy. But even without all that, her face is like on 10. Her face is gorgeous. Shay is gorgeous. This man needs to pipe up. Stop being like that. But yeah, so Shay is gorgeous. They went to Spin Art. I was in Atlanta and I heard of Spin Art. It's not really in Atlanta. It's like an hour outside of Atlanta. But I really want to go to that. That seems like something really cool. And they seem to have a lot of fun, and they went on a little, not dinner, but like grab a bite afterward. And he seems to really make her laugh. He's telling her about his family and these foundational morals that he has and values. And it seems like it really kind of made her ears perk up like, oh, I don't have to be in a relationship with a man who won't allow me to meet his mother. So that was that date, Brian and Shay. And then, they give Shorty another New Orleans man. No one other than Hollywood. I said, I don't care what Dr. Nicole says. That man is for the streets. Don't try to leave your relationship on account of Hollywood. Please stop. But Hollywood is fine though, and he was busting out that shirt. The muscles were just up there. I said, oof. And he has that accent. First of all, both of those men's eyes lit up when they heard each other's accents. I feel like Hollywood would have just sat on the couch and had a conversation with the guy if that was, if they were on TV for a specific reason. Because both of them were like, ooh, respect, I got it, I love it, Louisiana, all of that. All that went out the window though when Shorty came back from that date with that necklace and they're talking about doing the ghost movements with the pottery. Also, Hollywood is gross because, oh, it won't rise up. How'd I get it to stand up? Gross. Shut up. I don't understand these grown people and these innuendos they be making. I feel like that's such a childish thing to do, but whatever. Y'all like it. And then Charlana, I think that's how you say it. Charlana goes out on a date with Metta. I liked their interaction. I don't see her going on another date with Metta, but I like their interaction because she mentioned so much throughout this episode that Otis doesn't listen to her, and literally the entire time Metta is just a conversationalist. He's just, and not even about himself, he's just listening to her and making her feel heard. And she asked him, well, are you a traditional person? He's like, yeah, I was raised in a traditional household, but I definitely am of the mindset now as an adult that my wife is my partner or even my better, right? Because she has qualities, hopefully, that I don't have, and she's better at things that I'm not good at. So that's what he sees marriage as. So I was like, ooh, Dr. Nicole did a good job. That was good. And it seems like she's really into fitness and stuff, and he does soccer and she plays tennis, and they went on a little soccer date and they seem to really hit it off. I don't think she's gonna go on another date with him, but I liked their interaction. I thought it was really cool. So the ladies get back home and they're talking about their dates. We don't see Shay and Alfonso talk about Shay's date, but we see Kenneth talking to Shorty about her date. Oh, this man was not having it. So it was like, okay, all this bravado and I ain't worried about nothing, but Hollywood showed up and you real worried now. So yeah, he was not feeling it. He threw her necklace across the room, the necklace that Hollywood gave her from the pottery shop. And she's just very calmly talking. I feel like she was trying to make him jealous a little bit because the way she was talking was like, okay. She's giving details that perhaps didn't need to be given, but she, she's talking to him and she's like, I thought you weren't jealous. What's up? Because now you acting real upset. She said, why are you pacing? He said, man, ain't nobody pacing, as he continues to pace. Poor man. I can see her breaking up with him, but oh my goodness gracious, he seems so head over heels in love with her. So I don't know how that breakup is going to go at all. Otis is a tiny, mean, childish human being, and he is like verbally accosting Charlana about this date. So Metta gave her flowers. She brought the flowers home. She wanted him to see the flowers. I will say she was kind of goading him there because she put the flowers on the countertop and then she kind of like had a conversation where she was guiding his eyesight to the flowers. So she did want to see, I think, his reaction to the flowers, but he threw them things straight in the trash. She said, you're overreacting. So at first I feel like she was being really playful and okay, if all you're doing is throwing away the flowers, okay, whatever, right? You're being real childish or you're being a little petty and whatever. But then it was like, okay, it goes from joking to now you're being mean. And he said something to her like, I feel like you need to take a shower, like you're dirty. Like you need to take a shower and wash that whole thing off of you. Whoa, that was so mean. And she kept saying like, this is what we signed up for. And I'm like, ditto, this is what y'all signed up for. Why are you being so rude about about this. It's not like they had a makeout session. She brought home flowers. They wanted a workout date. Cameras were following them around the entire time. What do you mean? What are you so upset about? You're going to be doing the same exact thing, and then you're going to be rubbing it in my face. Like, what is the deal here? I just didn't like his reaction at all. He is mean. Like, it goes past even just being childish and petty and immature. He was being a mean-spirited person. And oh, I wouldn't want to be in a relationship where someone is that mean to me. Like, off of something we signed up for to do, did we not understand? People get on TV and act like they didn't sign up to be here. I don't get that. Oh, Otis. You don't deserve to be Olana. You're just Otis. I didn't like that. Anyway, so then they get to the last therapy session with the last group therapy session with Dr. Nicole. And they're talking about their dates. We didn't even get to hear about everybody's dates. We got to hear about Shay and Alfonso, kind of. So Shay is talking about going on a date with Brian and basically their issue about being family oriented, and Alfonso has not ingratiated her into, or has not invited her into his family dynamic. And Dr. Nicole's like, well, is there a reason that your mom doesn't want to be around her, blah, blah, blah. And he said, well, she's really close to my child's mother, and they're like best friends, and she doesn't really want to be seen as kind of going against her, and she kind of wanted us to be together, and that's not how it happened, and so she doesn't really want to meet Shay, which is unfortunate, and that makes me feel sad for Shay, because it seems like she really wants to be in this man's life and a part of his life, and it seems like she knows the child, because she mentioned that she accidentally, met his mom. So they were dropping off his child. I think it's a son. So they were dropping off his son to his mom's house. They were in there for a long time. He was in there for a long time, Alfonso. And so she goes in the house to see what's up. And the mom was there. And she was like, oh, I didn't expect to see you. And so Shay just introduces herself like, hey, I'm Shay, I'm such and such. And that was that. And you can just see Shay is hurt by that. And then she mentions another incident where Alfonso told her he was going out of town for work. She goes on social media and finds out he went on a family vacation with the baby mama without her and didn't even tell her about, like, lied about. Ooh! Oh, you have to be bold. Oh, bold. You went on a whole vacation and lied to your girlfriend, your live-in girlfriend. Oh, that must have been hurtful. I can only imagine that Shay was just super hurt by that, especially for her being such a family-oriented person. That whole thing. And so the episode ends with Shay going into the bathroom and crying, but it just, that whole scene, like, hurt my heart, because you could really just see how hurt she was about that. So, yeah. Oh, this episode was a lot. So my final thoughts about these couples. I think these men don't do a very good job of caring for their girlfriend's heart, right? Like, because they're injured. Like, they injure with their words, and just, even Kenneth, who seems to love Shorty to death, just doesn't listen, and he's so caught up in his feelings that he's not seeing the clear picture. Otis is a jerk, and Alfonso needs to be let go completely, and I just don't see Shay breaking up with him. These relationships seem to be terrible. I don't see one that seems like a healthy relationship, but I guess they don't come on there because they have a healthy relationship and everything's okay. But I don't even see, like, the whole point of the show is for, it seems to me, just from these couples this season. I feel like there were a couple where you can see, okay, like y'all seem to really love each other and want to be together. There are just a couple things maybe in your relationship that you probably need to work out, and as individuals that you need to work out, probably past things that have happened in your relationship that you haven't explored or gotten over that you need to handle. But I can see y'all wanting to be together long term. I can see that. None of these people seem like they would be good long term. I can't see anybody having a happy, peaceful, whole, solid relationship based on trust and love and understanding. I don't see it. All I see is old feelings. That's all I see. Like old feelings meaning I used to be super duper head over heels for you once upon a time. And so I'm still operating from that feeling, even though maybe I've grown, and what I've realized is that I don't just want to feel love for you. I need to be secure in this relationship. And I don't feel like any of these people are secure in their relationship. But that's my thought on this. Once again, let me just put a little disclaimer. I am giving my opinion from what I see on TV. I understand that I am not in these people's lives, so I don't know anything about what they really got going on. I am going based purely off of the impression they are giving me on TV. And the impression they're giving me on TV is that they suck. Oh, goodness gracious. That they are not in these healthy relationships. These are not healthy relationships. That's the impression that I am getting from the TV. So we get into, what's going to happen this season. There is a fight that doggone near happens with Shay and apparently this lady that they have brought for Alfonso. I think it is deplorable that the person who was holding her back from fighting with this lady is the other guy, and Alfonso was nowhere to be found. And she's even in this fight scene. Shay is like, tell her to stop talking to me. You don't see Alfonso anywhere, but you see this other lady stand up like she ready to go. The other guy is holding Shay back, and she keeps walking up, and then the other guy comes back and pulls Shay back again. I'm like, Alfonso is not there to defend her. Alfonso is not there to be a protector to her, and not even in a relationship with his mother. He's not even ready to defend you against his mother. He's for doggone sure not going to defend you against some stranger. So I want Shay to get out of that. I want Shay to find happiness elsewhere, because Alfonso is not treating her well. I don't like seeing that, because with the mom situation, okay, she's best friends with your ex and wanted y'all to get together. Okay, cool. As a man who is thinking about marrying a whole other person with a child involved. My storage was full, y'all. Anyway, a little boy is looking at you to see how to handle these things, and it just, I just feel like in that situation, as a grown man, you can stand up to your mother and say, I understand that you're friends with her, and don't stop being friends with her by any means, because that's my child and we should all have a great working relationship. But please understand that relationship is over. I have a new relationship that I am pursuing, and I want to make sure that person feels secure in this relationship. So going forward, we need to discover what those boundaries look like. I cannot make you accept her, but understand that I am no longer going to exclude her. So if you invite me to family vacation, she's coming with me. If we have a cookout, a family cookout, a reunion, or anything, she's coming with me. If we're doing vacations, she's coming with me. If we're doing holidays as a family together, she's coming with me. You are going to have to accept that I have a new relationship now, and I need for you to respect that. That is a non-negotiable. And he just hasn't done that, which probably makes her feel over and over and over again that she's not worth fighting for and that she doesn't have any security within that relationship, which is unfortunate. Alfonso was giving me Field Mob vibes from last season, that even in that same situation, because what's her face almost got into it with Alexia, right? Yeah, with Lex, because Lex was like, y'all gonna stop holding hands, and the lady was just like grabbing him. So there's that. And then Otis, for all his posturing about, oh, you're not gonna be going on dates, and if you do this, I'm out. It seems that he has been sipping on that same juice, because in the little preview, Charlotta's like, oh, so you've been lying to me this whole time. And he said something about having talked to one of the girls through DM. And I'm like, It's sounding like your version of submission means I don't have any accountability for my actions. So those are my thoughts, y'all. Those are my thoughts about this episode. TV has this weird way of just, like, especially reality TV, just gets you sucked in and invested in these people's lives who you don't know, which is probably not a good thing, but it is entertaining. So that is it for this review. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see y'all in my next one. Bye.